As a law enforcement officer, I attest that my fundamental duty is to serve mankind, to safeguard lives and property, to protect the innocent against deception, the weak against oppression or intimidation, and the peaceful against violence or disorder, and to respect the constitutional rights of all persons to ensure liberty, equality, and justice.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Gainesville PD On Duty, the show that takes you behind the badge of the Gainesville Police Department. My name is Officer Ben Tobias and I'm the spokesperson for the agency. Over the years, we've been lucky to create some great segments, and the tips and information in those segments stays true. So each summer, we take the opportunity to look at some of our previous segments and share them with you again. We start this episode with a segment on scams. Our officers investigate a number of reported scams each week. Some of the more popular include a GRU scam where someone appearing to be calling from GRU tells you you've missed a payment and that you must pay immediately or risk having your power disconnected. The person on the phone will tell you to go to a store and get a prepaid debit card and then call another telephone number and give them the card number. These scammers use your emotions to catch you at a vulnerable time and confuse you in the hopes that you'll act quickly. The following segment was produced in 2014, but every bit of the information remains true. Please help us reduce crime by staying vigilant with your hard-earned money.
You know, I like to tell people that if they really don't want to be a victim, they have to almost live in a bubble. They've got to completely eliminate any connection to any outside entity that their finances are attached to. The problem is you can't do that. So you just have to be really careful with your information. But you have to figure that anywhere that you've ever given your name or your information to, and that includes doctors' offices, credit card companies, banks, if you've ever booked anything online, you've given your information to somebody. And all it takes is one bad person at one of those institutions and you're at risk of being compromised. So it's almost not a matter of true prevention as it is of just vigilance. You have to be watching your credit report, you have to be watching your bank accounts, and you've got to be ready to catch it, because it's almost not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. But the faster you can catch it, the more likely you are to not be harmed by it. I actually myself have been a victim of identity theft, and that's how we caught it, was our online bank. It's just something that we check on a daily basis, and because you'll see charges come through as pending, and if you can catch them then, you can catch them before anything bad happens, and that's what happened to us. But it was our online banking that was, enabled us to catch it. If you're with a bank or a credit union, and you have access to your account statements online, like I said, at a minimum, daily check your statements, make sure that there's nothing going through that you don't recognize, and just try to reconcile everything. And the quicker you can catch it, the more likely you are to prevent yourself from being worse of a victim. A lot of times people will go through and they'll put through a dollar charge here or a dollar charge there just to test your account. If you can catch that quickly, you can get your account shut down or get at least that card shut down, and then they can't do any more harm to you while you work to fix the problem. The credit card skimming is not as big as a problem as it used to be, but it's still out there. There are still people with handheld machines. We still do see them occasionally pop up at gas stations. And then basically that would be somebody getting the credit card number. Then there are methods that criminals have figured out, besides stealing somebody's wallet and anything, to actually physically get a hold of the credit card and use it in that manner. You definitely want to get us en route as quick as you can, especially if it's something that may have happened somewhat recently. And the reason is we're not going to prevent you or keep you from getting on the phone with your credit card company to cancel your accounts. But if you go to cancel your account and they're already using it or have used it just in the last few minutes somewhere, we're already en route or we're already there, and then you can get us en route to wherever it is we need to be, to where the bad guy is filling up his gas, in his car, or going on his shopping spree at Walmart or Target or wherever. We have had some scams in the past couple years where somebody will call pretending to be a family member and say that they're in jail in another country and they need money to get an attorney or to get bonded out. These guys, they do their homework. They learn everything they can about a person before they make this call, so you can talk to them and you might really think that this person is who they are, or with the person that they say they're with.
Hey, Mom. Yeah, is Grandma in jail in Aruba?
The thing is a lot, what you'll see a lot of times with these scams is people are going to try to rush you, and they're going to want you to go right now and go get the money and send it to them right away. And the reason that is one, They don't want you talking to other people and saying, hey, this is what I'm doing, or this is what's going on, because somebody's inevitably going to catch on to it. Or they don't want you thinking about it, because we get that call a lot. You know, we get a lot of times where people will call and say, oh, I went and sent all this money to person X, and then I realized I was probably scammed. So if they'd taken an extra 15 to 30 minutes or an hour or 2 hours or a day and sat down and thought about it, they might realize it's a scam beforehand. They won't be out the money. A lot of people have their information on Facebook, any of these social networking sites. If you don't lock down your page, and which is fine if you want your page to be open to the public, you want everybody to see, you know, everything about you, that's fine and that's your business. But you have to realize that not only are your friends and your high school friends that might be looking for you out there seeing your information, but so are all these criminals who are doing nothing but scouring these social networking sites and scouring all these other websites to learn everything they can about a person. Typically when the magazine salesmen come into town, crimes go up. And it's not to say that every single person that's selling a magazine is a criminal or has criminal intent or is not legit, but it seems like a lot of them are. Yeah, so they're typically very aggressive, they're very pushy, they're going to play on your emotions a little bit. They might tell you a story about you know, the hard times that they've fallen on, whether they've just gotten out of prison or whether they, you know, they're attending an underprivileged school, or what the circumstances might be. A lot of times they're just trying to either get into your house or get a good look at your house, or just get your information. You might give them a check and now they have your account information.
Hey folks, how you doing? I'm with Magazines for Love. I was just gonna see if you guys wanted some quality reading material. We got some wicked good prices. It's almost a steal. And
even though a majority of people actually won't fall for the scams, it doesn't matter, because they're so prolific that they don't need everybody to fall for the scams. They only need 10% of the people to fall for the scam, and they get their money. You know, it's just take a few minutes and think about what's actually going on. And if you have doubts, contact somebody else that you trust and run it by them and say, hey, this is what's happening. This is what this person wants me to do. What do you think? And you know, you can get a second or third opinion. And if they think it's fraudulent, then you probably need to take an extra step back and look at the situation as a whole and try to figure out if it's real or not. There's nothing that you or I can do to make this problem go away. And it's unfortunate. You know, we do everything we can to catch the bad guys. But for every one bad guy they catch, there's another one out there.
While scammers are getting better at tricking folks out of their hard-earned money, they do often have red flags. Reputable businesses or government organizations will never tell you to go get a prepaid debit card or gift card to tender a payment. If you think you're on the phone with the scammer, simply hang up and call a known number for that business. The bottom line, never send money to someone that you don't know over the phone. After the break, we'll talk about a problem that unfortunately never goes away and how you can help reduce your chances of being the victim of a car burglary. Don't go anywhere. Gainesville PD on duty. We'll be right back.
Burglaries and robberies have become serious concerns in our city. This crime is referred to as a crime of opportunity because most criminals look for the path of least resistance. Protect yourself. Don't become a target. Lock your doors and keep expensive items out of plain view.
For crime prevention information, go to GainesvillePD.org or call the Gainesville Police Department's Crime Prevention Office at 334-2479. Protect yourself. Don't become a target.
The time of the accident, I did not have any protective gear on, and I never thought I'd be hit. The only thing that anybody driving a scooter or motorcycle can do is wear protective gear, because that's really something that could save your life. My scooter was totaled. I have no desire to get that fixed. I never want to see it again, and I will never ride a scooter again.
I will maintain courageous calm in the face of danger, scorn, or ridicule. Develop self-restraint and be constantly mindful of the welfare of others. Honest in thought and deed in both my personal and official life, I will be exemplary in obeying the laws of the land and the regulations of my department. Together, as a community, we foster order, safety, and freedom.
Welcome back to Gainesville PD on duty. As long as there have been cars, there have been car burglars. It's a problem that seems to unfortunately never go away. The Gainesville Police Department has worked very hard with high-profile patrols, undercover patrols, and public education in an effort to reduce the number of victims each year. All too often, however, we take reports of car burglaries that could have been easily prevented if the owner had taken a few steps to make their car less of a target. The first and most important rule of car burglary prevention is to lock your car. We take hundreds of reports each year of burglaries that were committed on unlocked vehicles. If you do leave your car unlocked, you might as well put a sign next to it that says, "Free stuff." As you leave your car, take a second to pull on the handle after you lock it to make sure that it actually is locked. The second rule of burglary prevention is to remove your belongings. Criminals are out to commit crimes of opportunity. Even if you do lock your vehicle, by keeping your purse or laptop in plain view, you're just inviting a burglar to break your window and make off with your stuff. By simply locking your car and taking your stuff, we can seriously reduce the number of car burglaries reported each year. The following segment was produced a few years ago, but the tips and information in it are as true today as they were then.
Hi, my name is Officer Marquita Brown with the Gainesville Police Department's Special Operations Unit, where I commonly investigate car burglaries. One of the things I've noticed in car burglaries is that people are kind of targeting specific areas where there are a large amount of vehicles. They hit fast and quick, rather to smash your window, smash your glass out, or whether it's an unlocked car door. They enter 5 to 10 seconds, grab a purse, grab a wallet, a book bag, something personal. They go through those items, take out maybe a state ID, Florida ID card, a social security card, a debit card, credit card, and if there's a checkbook. If and once they get all this information, they're going directly to a bank. They're using interchangeable victims' information to basically obtain their funds without their permission. They're committing fraud, they're committing identity thefts with the victim's information, and it doesn't happen just once. They use it as much as they can, pretty much until the victim notices it. They watch people go in and out of locations, new cars that comes in, vehicles that are leaving, vehicles that have been sitting for maybe over 30 minutes or so. And what they target is things like female purses, pocketbooks, book bags, wallets. Well, what happens is people try to hide them, but I don't think that they hide the items well enough. So the suspects are still getting into the car, searching the car, and keep in mind it takes maybe 5 to 10 seconds to locate a pocketbook that you may have hidden under the seat, but they still manage to discover it and find it. It may be even in your glove compartment, which is concealed. However, they'll open it, find your wallet, take whatever items they feel is needed to go further. Once inside of those things, they look for checkbooks, credit cards, debit cards, your actual Florida ID card or some sort of official state ID card. Personally, I would tell people always, always, always take your items with you, even if you're just running into the gas station. Don't leave your car running. Don't leave your car doors unlocked. Make sure the windows are already all the way rolled up. Absolutely no items in plain view. Me personally, I watch what items I also carry with me inside of my purse. You may not want to carry a credit card, debit card, and a checkbook, because the more items they get, the more they're able to go into further crimes that leads to fraud and identity theft. You need to call police immediately if and when you see some sort of transactions where there's checks, where there's credit card usage, and where there's debit card usage. And what you want to do is immediately contact your banks. You need to have everything canceled. I don't just mean canceling debit cards and credit cards, but I mean canceling the entire account and opening up something new, because even with those alerts, sometimes these criminals, they're very intelligent to where they can do whatever they need to do in order to obtain your funds. Anytime you go somewhere, it doesn't hurt to double check, did I lock my door? Walk back to your car, double click that lock. Any items that you're going to leave in the car, think twice about it. Does it hurt to just carry it in with you? Once you get to a location, you don't want to be trying to find out where you're going to put it. You don't want them seeing you put your purse in your trunk, because that's another thing they'll do. They'll pop that trunk open and just take you right out after they've watched you. So kind of try to minimize things that you take with you day to day, and just double check. Take that extra 10 seconds to lock your car doors.
It's, 90-95% of the people out there are good, but it's still that 5-10% is a significant part of our population that we have to be aware of. And it's unfortunate, but it's just kind of the way it is nowadays, and we've got to, as time goes on, we have to adapt. They're always going to try to stay one step ahead of us. We have to try to stay one step ahead of them.
If you learn nothing else from this episode, I hope that each and every one of you remembers to lock your vehicle, pull the handle to double check, and take your belongings each time you leave your car. Experienced burglars can strike in just seconds, so don't tempt them by leaving valuables in your car as you run into your daycare, the gym, or into the store. Gainesville police officers work very hard to keep criminals at bay, but we need you to do your part to remove their targets. After the break, we'll take you behind the scenes for a few moments and show you some of the lighter moments of the show's production. You won't want to miss it, so stay with us. Gainesville PD on duty. We'll be right back.
So you're cruising down the road and all of a sudden you spot flashing lights up ahead. Some sort of emergency vehicle. Maybe a cop car, maybe an ambulance, maybe a tow truck is stopped on the side of the road with its flashing lights on. What do? If you answer, just keep right on going. Wrong. Sorry, try again. When an emergency vehicle or tow truck is stopped on the roadside with its lights flashing, it's your job to move over or slow down 20 miles per hour below the speed limit. That's right, move over and give them some room, or slow down if you just can't change lanes. That is unless you like paying tickets, because that's just what you'll get, a big, fat ticket. So here's the deal. Keep your eyes on the road at all times and watch the road up ahead, not just what's right in front of your hood. Anytime you see an emergency vehicle or tow truck on the side of the road, move over a lane or slow down to 20 miles per hour below the speed limit. Give them the space they need to do their job safely. Hey, these folks are looking out for you, so look out for them too, will you? Move over, Florida. It's the law. A message from the Florida Highway Patrol, paid for by the Florida Department of Transportation.
He said to me, Mom, I want to get a bike. And I said, Tom, I don't want you to get a bike. Something happens to you, I don't think I can go on. And he said, Mom, nothing's going to happen. He was a safe driver. He wore all the gear, but was a bike, so they're just not safe. You just don't have metal around you.
I will never act officiously or permit personal feelings, prejudices, animosities, or friendships to influence my decisions. With no compromise for crime and with relentless prosecution of criminals, I will enforce the law courteously and appropriately, without fear or favor, malice or ill will, and never employing unnecessary force.
Welcome back to Gainesville PD on duty. Our crew does an excellent job of editing our footage to make the show look completely professional and effortless. But what you don't see are the sometimes countless bloopers and mistakes that are made during production. Police officers by nature see the worst parts of society. We normally aren't pulling someone over to ask them how their day is going. It's usually for a citation. Also, folks don't call 911 to tell us about their kid's report card or a big promotion at work. When folks have to call us, it's generally because they have reached a crisis in their daily lives that has grown beyond their control. Police officers see it all. We are there during tragedy, injury, and sometimes even death. To keep ourselves sane, we have to constantly look for ways to keep ourselves elevated and in good spirits. Thankfully, our days generally come with some humor and lighter moments. Some of those lighter moments have made their way into our footage, but it's hidden from view during the edit process. Today, we're going to change that, and for the next few minutes, we hope you enjoy some of the lighter moments that we have captured while filming this show.
We should.
Oh my God, we could totally do a video.
Sit, go, hop. Well, that was smooth. Right for the camera, dude. That was smooth. He's like, crash.
I mean, I'm sure it'll come out cool, but...
Yeah.
Are you recording?
Yep.
Oh, cool. Thanks, Ben. We're out here today with some youth from the Duval neighborhood. They had the idea to, that was really good. Thanks, Ben. We are out here at the Gainesville Police Department with some, I guess, wow, this is real. Ben, I'm sorry.
He is empowering the women of Gainesville to fight off attackers. Finally, we will finish with the segment on holiday safety. Sorry,
Yeah.
You looked at me in the gun.
She was.
I'm sorry.
I creeped her out. I looked at her
He
again.
looked at me and I'm like, why?
He looked at me. Oh my God.
I'm sorry.
The prompter. It keeps moving though. Welcome to Gainesville. Yeah, that's it. Welcome.
So you want me to face you first? Give an introduction? This is awkward. I feel like a celebrity, you know? Where's the makeup crew?
I feel awesome and like I have power because I am declining Bobby White.
You're number one!
Oh, I'm sorry.
If you learn nothing else from this episode, I hop. We don't want anything but perfection.
We're down here at the downtown plaza. I'm gonna walk around and try and talk to a few people here. I'm gonna have this in my hand on purpose because I want them to feel at ease, that I'm not just here trying to look for violations. I'm simply just trying to talk to people. If something goes bad or wrong, obviously I'll have to drop this down on the ground and then I can go and do whatever I need to do.
To join me in the studio so you can meet different members of the agency. This month I have Officer Megan Bostic who's joining.
These two officers are outstanding members of society. Look at these guys right here. They uphold the law. Let's go.
This man right here has the best hot dogs in Gainesville.
I'm trying.
Sean, man, anytime you come downtown, you have to get a hot dog from Sean. Remember, Officer Cook told you that.
All right, stop. Collaborate and listen. Ice is back with a brand new invention. Something grabs a hold of me tightly, flows like a harpoon daily and nightly. Will it ever stop? Yo, I don't know. Turn off the lights.
It will glow. I hope you enjoyed that look into some of the lighter moments that have happened while we filmed the Sorry, can't even talk. Let's see, while we filmed the... No, we got to cut it, Nick. Well, we honestly do have a great time creating each episode, and I'm glad you got to see some of... I can't read today. Well, we've come to the end of this episode of Gainesville PD On Duty. Be sure to find us online on Facebook or Twitter, or by visiting our website at gainesvillepd.org. You can learn more about the Gainesville Police Department and even watch previous episodes. Please let us know what you'd like to see in future episodes, and we have aired user suggestions in the past, and we would love to hear from you. Thanks for joining us today, and we'll see you again soon for another episode of Gainesville PD On Duty.
I recognize the badge of my office as a symbol of public faith, and I accept it as public trust to be held, so long as I am true to the ethics of the police service. I will constantly strive to achieve these objectives and ideals, dedicating myself before God to my chosen profession, law enforcement.
Burglaries and robberies have become serious concerns in our city. This crime is referred to as a crime of opportunity because most criminals look for the path of least resistance. Protect yourself, don't become a target, lock your doors, and keep expensive items out of plain view.
For crime prevention information, go to GainesvillePD.org Or call the Gainesville Police Department's Crime Prevention Office at 334-2479. Protect yourself. Don't become a target.
I actually don't remember anything from the accident. Crossing the intersection of 13th Street and 39th Avenue, and a truck pulled out in front of me. Wearing all black also doesn't help, so I was wearing all black. I had a son behind me. My head went full force into the hood of the truck that pulled out in front of me. I would definitely not be here if I hadn't been wearing a helmet. I would still ride again, but I would ride knowing that I risk my life every time I get on the bike. I think everyone should know that.